Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. If you haven't already, please check us out on www.bwtmonline.com. Check out the online TV station again, bwtmonline.com. Of course, subscribe to us on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the notification button. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, let's get into this show. The title is about Dillian Whyte. So let's talk about Dillian Whyte, shall we? Here we are. The man of the moment, or so the boxing media would want you to believe. Dillian Whyte. It's big breaking news that's going on at the moment that Dillian Whyte's going to sign and possibly sign for Top Rank. But let's rewind and come again, selector. I don't get out often, and I don't do many press conferences. But the occasional press conference that I feel, what's the word, inspired to go to, or I feel that, you know, I'm invited to, I go to. And it so happened that Khan and Crawford were in town. For those of you who know the history of BWTM, Crawford was one of our first fighters that we spoke to back in 2013. Of course, he's gone on to become undisputed champion. He was in the UK. It was nice to reunite with Crawford. But at the time also, while he was in the country, obviously to promote the fight of Amir Khan, the Bob father was in town. Bob Arum. Now, you know, I've spoken to Eddie Hearn previously. So now it was to hear what the American promoter, the legendary promoter Bob Arum of Top Rank, had to say about, obviously, Isaac Dogba. He's recently signed world champion, getting beat. Why he signed Terence Crawford, what he thinks makes a great fighter, lessons for young fighters. But while I was at it, I was thinking, I wonder what he'd think of Dillian Whyte, because frankly, everything that's happened with Dillian Whyte's career so far in terms of promises basically not being followed through, i.e. him not getting a world title shot being delivered. When I said that he was fighting Parker, he wouldn't get a world title shot at the end of that. It didn't happen. I said when he beat Chisora, before the fight was even announced, it was on the road to nowhere. So I basically was really sick and tired and fed up of seeing Dillian Whyte on TV, you know, and seeing this situation go on, and seeing this young man who, to me, has had a tremendous transformation in his career. If you look at early in his career, how he was fighting, and that goes down a lot to Mark Tibbs and how professional Dillian's gone about his business. And it's not just about buttering somebody up. You've got to see and notice the changes a person's made. They've made the changes. Dillian Whyte's made the changes to be, you know, a world top 10 contender. In fact, he's in, you know, he's #1 by the WBC. How people are still bringing Dominic Brazil's name in, I have no idea. But anyway, it just is the way that it goes. So anyway, back to my point. So Dillian Whyte now, for me, has become one of the most improved heavyweights. And has fought very good. He's fought good competition, top 10 competition in Parker and Brown time. Those guys were ranked in the top 10. Of course, he fought Derek Chisora as well, who, remember, knocked out Takam, who, remember, Takam went 10 rounds with Anthony Joshua, and the referee had to come in and stop that fight, not because Joshua was getting on top of him, but I don't know why. But anyway, moving on. This is about Dillian Whyte. So this man has the word reinvented himself, or he's grown, and he's realized that he's a brand. And all the things I think I spoke about Dillian Whyte, he should have his own YouTube channel. He should start to let the public know what's going on, you know, be branded, be a brand. He's done all those things, and he's had a good, and his boxing career's come on, his career's moved on. So when I spoke to Bob Arum, and that's exclusive to BWTM, when I spoke to Bob Arum, I asked him, what do you think of Dillian Whyte and what's going on here in Matchroom? These are Bob Arum's direct words. He should leave Matchroom and join Top Rank. If he joins Top Rank, he will be on ESPN. Being on ESPN, he will be able to be seen before millions of people around the world on ESPN, and he will get a profile bigger than Anthony Joshua, because Joshua fights in DAZN. And he says, when you look at DAZN, what is there? What's attached to DAZN? Nothing. Top Rank has attached to ESPN. Everybody knows what ESPN is. So you got Sky Sports and DAZN, but DAZN's got nothing there. The app, but the app for ESPN is got an app that's connected to ESPN, a TV station. You see, so and what Aram's vision was, what he said to me, and it's on the channel. Aram turned around and said, Dillian Whyte should fight a few American guys, and by fighting a few American guys and building his name in America, what happens is he becomes a much more watched fighter than Anthony Joshua. That's what Bob Arum said. So he said, leave Matchroom because they're not getting him a world title shot, and come to Top Rank. So this isn't breaking news that Dillian Whyte would be signing for Top Rank. It would be breaking news to me. It would be like, makes sense. Here's another thing. Let's talk about somebody else. So if Dillian Whyte has moved to Top Rank, thank heavens, congratulations, well done. Just make sure that the contract that you sign with Top Rank is one that is going to benefit you in the long run, you know? Like I was saying before, well, you could be a pay-per-view star in the UK, but what does that mean? You could be a pay-per-view star, you're still not getting no world title shots. You're still being fighting either Joshua's leftovers or fighters Joshua don't want to fight, rather than you getting what you deserve for fighting and getting stuff. And there's always every possibility now. He's got someone like Bob Arum behind him. There's a real power play behind him now. So it will be very interesting how Dillian Whyte's moved now. You know, Dillian Whyte now be able to fight good opponents, American opponents, as Bob wants. Plus, he's got the TV behind him. Certain conversations that may have been said, A, B, C, all that sort of nonsense. The maneuvering, the ability to maneuver becomes less and less. And Dillian Whyte will move closer to that world title shot. Whether it be with, I thought that now he would get a better chance of fighting Deontay Wilder. But then now Deontay Wilder decided to fight Dominic Brazil. Fair enough. But I asked the question, all these people that want to see Dominic Brazil fight. Now, a lot of these people that talk about Dominic Brazil and Luis Ortiz, I don't understand what you're talking about. Luis Ortiz got his world title shot. And who's he beat since he's come back to deserve a title shot over Dillian Whyte? The next man is Dominic Brazil. Didn't he get knocked out by Anthony Joshua? So he got his world title shot as well. And who has he fought since he's come back? And then look at Dillian Whyte. Since Dillian Whyte's got beat by Anthony Joshua when he was injured, okay, he wasn't ready for that fight, but he took the fight because he had balls. He's since then rebuilt and fought better opposition, arguably, than Brazil and Ortiz. Okay, Ortiz fought Wilder and got wiped out by Wilder. But then Joshua beat Dillian Whyte back then. So really, Dillian Whyte deserved the world title shot. And it's only people because Dillian Whyte might not be your favorite fighter, and that's what happens a lot in boxing. When Dillian Whyte, if you've got somebody who's not your favorite fighter, you don't back them or you don't like them, then somehow you think they shouldn't get paid what they deserve, or they shouldn't get a title shot because you don't like them. But when it's your fighter should have a title shot. If it was the other way around and it was in Anthony Joshua's situation, oh, Joshua should be getting a world title shot. So very much people can't make their own minds up, and they very much follow what a promoter may say. The promoter's got more, people believe more in what the promoter's got to say than actually what's going on. You know? So yeah, I'm delighted for Dillian that he would go to Top Rank. I really would be delighted for him. And it gives him a hit. And then look, you know, you may even get a fight now between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. That's a strong possibility as well. Why would it not happen? Top Rank have had a history of using their fighters to fight one another. So I'm sure Cotto was a Top Rank fighter. And a lot of other fighters have been Top Rank fighters before that fought Pacquiao. So there's always a possibility that would happen. Top Rank fighters fighting Top Rank fighters. Good model, really, because that way you never lose out. If one guy beats the other guy, well, he's still in-house. You're not getting beaten by rival fighters or rival promotional companies. So it's all in-house. So I think it's a great thing. And of course, if you want to hear that interview with Bob Arum, just check it out on this channel, BWTM Online, with Bob Arum and the Dillian Whyte situation. Right. Someone wasn't delivering on Dillian. Well, that is a true point there. FM night after this. Live, no more pre-recorded crap, please, says Marky BA. If he does sign with Top Rank, what numbers do you think Fury versus Whyte will make? Don't know. No idea. Also, I wonder how this affects Sky Sports. Will they be happy they are losing their second pay-per-view star behind Joshua? I don't. I always said I never thought it made sense. Dillian Whyte staying at Sky Sports. I didn't see it because he was just going to be the guy that fought Joshua's leftovers. The career wasn't based on him. They were just it was like pacifier, just to pacify Dillian Whyte. And I'm glad he's gone. I hope he's gone. Yes, my brother Razor. What have I got to say to you? Much love to my brother Razor. I met this young man. We met up for I won't say we met up for a beer, but we met up for some juice. We'll say some fruit juice, and we sat down. We had a nice conversation. Very passionate young man about the sport of boxing, and of course, I did him as well. I did the video on our Instagram page. We did a live feed together. Shout out to my man there, Razor Ramon. The Cam man should have gone to PBC. None of them want Wilder. ESPN might not bring that. ESPN might not bring that. ESPN can do it because they've got the TV money there. You see, they've got TV money there, so they can do a lot of things that I don't think. I think ESPN's they're in a good position for ESPN. I think it's a bad thing. Don't think it's a bad thing at all. You definitely spoke into the universe of all the endless conversation of telling Dillian to leave Matchroom is finally happening, and Eddie is pissed. No more pay-per-view start after AJ. Yo, well, look, if you've been following me for ages now, Slicks. I've spoken about Dillian Whyte opening up a YouTube channel. I've spoken about Dillian Whyte, really coming together and packaging himself as a fighter and as a brand. If you go back and follow all the things I've been talking about Dillian Whyte has done all the things I've said that he should do. And look at him now. Look at him now. I've even gone and spoke to Bob Arum and said, look, Bob, hey, this guy, what's going on with this guy? Bob Arum is now has said basically that come on over, son. So, and Bob Arum sees a guy that's well packaged now. So he said, okay, well, that's what you've done with him so far. Well, I can do a lot more for him, and I've got a bigger audience than the UK. I know that the UK audience can sometimes be, and I don't want to sound patronising, can be sometimes deluded into believing that the UK is bigger than America. It's not. It is not bigger than America in terms of viewership and opportunity. If you're fighting the ESPN, there's so much viewership that's there, far more than Sky Sports or DAZN. So for me, I think it's a great move for him to be on ESPN. Alan Smith's mouth is no longer mouth-watering. Exciting times ahead, no more. The spear tie words of Chisora. Well, look where Chisora is now. Look where Chisora might be fighting Parker. But if I'm Tyson Fury, I fight Chisora. No, sorry, I fight Parker. But hold on a second. Hold it for 1 second. 1 second. Let me throw something at you here, right? Another spanner in the works. I'm going to bring somebody up here. Remember this geezer? You remember this geezer? Vladimir Klitschko? Another breaking news story. Vladimir's coming back. It's not breaking news. Not to us, it's not breaking news. Because again, we told you, Vladimir was sparring with Usyk. How many months ago did we tell you that? Dillian Whyte came out and said, Vladimir Klitschko, he's lying. He's coming back. Uncle Bashir's come back and said, Uncle Bashir told us on the channel the night that Klitschko got knocked out by Joshua, I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Klitschko. And now the rumors are flying around more that he's talking about deals here, there, and everywhere. You know, I would not be surprised if Vladimir Klitschko and Tyson Fury actually fought again. I would not be surprised. You remember all those rumors that were flying around at one point that Klitschko might fight Joshua again? And there were actually people in the British public that were accepting of this fight happening again. Vladimir Klitschko. And you know, I've already done a video on it. I've done a video on it. I said to you guys, if Vladimir Klitschko comes back, if he doesn't have Bashir in his corner, he can forget it. Because he's not going to come back and do anything any better. So Vladimir, if you got sense, you're a doctor. And you can't, you're meant to be a very intelligent man. I've got nothing against your Banks, but you can't beat experience. And there are things Bashir would be able to teach you that Banks does know nothing about. Pulev against Dillian for the IBF mandatory. Dillian against Tyson for linear championship. Dillian against Shah for the WA. I have said this over and over and over again, and I had the pleasure of meeting Dillian's brother on 2 occasions in 2 days. The first day I met Dillian was just before I was going to the fighters meeting with Stavern. And that was an amazing. I'm so thankful to Don King Productions and Bermain Stavern, because to be frank, nobody in the UK, when it means the powers that be, were interested in me being at that event, right? And if it wasn't for Stavern and Don King Productions, I would never have the opportunity to see things. I got behind the scenes. I got to see things that many people wouldn't usually get to see. I was in a fighters meeting. And there was Brian Custer, there was Ranello, and there's Bernstein, right? But my point is, I bumped into Dillian Whyte's brother there, and then I bumped into Dillian Whyte's brother at the Stavern Joyce fight. Now, he said to me, I recognize your voice. I recognize your voice. So, brother, if you're listening to this, I'll say it before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep on saying it. Dillian Whyte, go down the WBA route, pick up that WBA title. I don't care what the fans think. Go down the WBA route, pick up that WBA title, defend the title, make as much money as possible. Okay? I've said it before. I'll say it again. Keep on doing it. 1,000% Ingram. If you vouch for ESPN Ingram, I believe you're cool, bro. Thank you very much, Fraser. The UK audience is deluded. Facts. Of course they are. Of course they are. You remember back in the day when Ricky Houghton was fighting and he went to America and he was fighting. Nobody talks about damn gate receipts. Nobody give it. No, the gate thing was a secondary fact. The primary fact was Hatton was going to America to fight, and so many of the crowd that were following him, because people focus on the fighter because the fighter is personality. They didn't give a damn about whether the arena was sold out or not. When you were talking about Ben and Eubank, only if you're a statistician, you were thinking about, oh, how many the gates are. The only people that talk like that are accountants, right? They give a damn about how many people are in the arena. I don't give a damn. I just want to know the fight's going to happen. Ben Eubank too. You think I was worried about counting and saying, oh, well, there was that amount of people in the arena? And no. That's not the mindset of a boxing fan. The boxing fan is like, hey, these two guys are going to fight, and I want to make sure that my guy's going to win because I've got a bet down. That's how a boxing a fan will look at things, not looking at gate receipts. So this gate receipt thing is something that's a distraction. And A side, B side, you can blame Mayweather for that, but he had good reason to talk about A side and B side and what he did and what he's done. I don't think any other fighter going forward will do what Mayweather's done. He's a flash in the pan for me in terms of the greatness that he's done, in terms of what he did and achieved as a boxer and as a businessman. Potentially the best ever businessman in boxing, for sure. I heard Parker Duchesora. If Klitschko goes to ESPN, that would be crazy. It would be. I just realized the other day why you doubt Tyson Fury. He's full of shit. Don't believe an addict. I told you. I told you this before. Tyson will say one thing and do something totally different. I told you that. He'll say one thing today and do something else. Don't trust anything he says until the contract is signed and he's in the ring fighting. No, it's not. It just is what it is. It's nothing. I've got nothing against Tyson. It just is what it is. It is what it is. So remember he talked that big talk about, oh yeah, I'm gonna donate all this money to charity. Okay, fair enough. Nobody asked you to open your mouth and say that. See, when I said that, now people come and call you up about it. It's like, oh, what I do with my money is my business. It is your business, but if you make your business public, expect to be questioned on it. That's all. Yeah, let me get off this Vladimir Klitschko picture as well. Just think about it, guys. Think about it. Let me come back to my boy Dillian. Yeah, so, you know why I like Dillian Whyte so much? It's because you know that this man has grafted. You know this man has grafted. You know that this man has grafted. You know that this man hasn't had anything handed to him. Never had no Olympic gold medal. He was a kickboxer. Turned boxer. Nothing handed to him. And he's shown you what you can do with hard work, dedication, and a good man in your corner. And I tell you what, Mark Tibbs needs to be given a lot of credit for what he's done with Dillian Whyte. The one thing I would advise Dillian Whyte not to get caught up with is that Lawrence Okoli situation. Bad move. Don't do it. Do not get involved with it. Do not let your ego suck you into that Lawrence Okoli situation, because you could end up worse off in that situation. Example, David Haye, when he fought Tony Bellew. David Haye had no business being in the ring with Tony Bellew, but he got sucked into Bellew's big talk. I'm going to go and dust him off. He could have got beat up for more money against Anthony Joshua, which everyone was expecting that David Haye. There was no reason. Bellew was a cruiserweight. Haye was a heavyweight. Bellew was, well, who cared about Bellew? At that time, who cared about Bellew? Yeah, he won the WBC title. But nobody gave a damn about, apart from people in Everton, nobody really gave a damn about Bellew. I mean, on the global scale, because we're all looking at David Haye, a guy that's come back and established big puncher, former world champion, going to fight Anthony Joshua. That was the big story at heavyweight, not a cruiserweight. So there's no disrespect to Tony Bellew, but David's ego, right, got him involved. Look, he could have gone and had to fight against Shannon Briggs instead than Tony Bellew. Or he could have swerved the Bellew fight and gone and fight Anthony Joshua. That would have made more sense. Again, he did not have to take that fight. So Dillian Whyte, I pray to God that this Okoli situation just blows over and he moves on. He moves on. Don't want to see Dillian Whyte fight Lawrence Okoli. I don't. Because there's always that chance that it might not go the way Dillian wants it to. I'm not saying Okoli can beat Dillian, but you've seen it before. Oscar De La Hoya, Sugar Shea Mosley. Sugar Shea Mosley moves up 2 weight divisions and beats Oscar De La Hoya. Just fights you don't need, just don't need to have, you don't need it. You're on the verge of a world title shot. Gary Mason, Lennox Lewis. Another situation. Mason didn't have to fight Lennox Lewis. He didn't have to. He was ranked number 4 in the world. Lennox had just broke into the top 10 with the European title. Olympic champion versus the guy who won the ABAs. Not Olympic gold medalist. Suicidal matchmaking. You know? So, serious, they're blocking you from events there. Yeah, they are. Expose them for what they are, but I don't give a damn. Have you spoken to my man after the fight? Yes. I spoke to him after the fight. I was in the dressing room with him, kissed him on his forehead, told him I love you, brother. This ain't about views or anything like that. I'm gonna connect with him probably end of this week or next week. I'll connect with him and chat with him and see where he's at about things. Ingram, is ESPN free to air? I believe it is on American TV. They've got an ESPN app. I think it's free. I could be wrong. It could be free. I don't think it's subscription based like Sky Sports Star. I think it could be free ESPN. I could be wrong. What's up, peeps? Yes, BG's London. I'm not knocking what Eddie Hearn has done for British boxing, but he's full of shit, full of skips. I know now, boy. LOL. LOL. Think about it. Man, Mark Tibbs is still, it is underrated. LOL, Okoli hits hard. Barely talked fart. He talked enough fart to get himself into 2 fights with David Haye and literally end David Haye's career and come back. What do I think of Spence versus Garcia? I'm going to talk about that fight, actually. Okoli versus Whyte at catchweight. Not a good idea, trust. No, it's not a good idea. What do I think of Spence versus Garcia? You know what? That's a good... We should talk about that fight, shouldn't we? Well, I'm going to talk about it. Let me see if I can get a picture of Spence and Garcia for you. Because it is an interesting conversation. And I'm going to talk about it because it's there. And it's coming up shortly. And let me get a picture of these two. And then I can get a picture of Spence and Garcia. Let me see if I can get Spence and Garcia for you. We can talk about Spence and Garcia for a moment. How you guys doing? Guys and girls doing anyway? I haven't been on for a little while. I'm trying to do these shows once a week now. It's so much is going on. Unbelievable. Plus, we've got a live event coming up shortly. So it's all happening. Let me see if I can get a Spence Garcia up for you. Where's Spence Garcia? Where are you? Where's Spence Garcia? Oh God, I can't see you anywhere. Oh, come on, don't do this to me, man. Give me a second, people. I'm with you. Just gonna get a picture for Spence Garcia for you. Oh, that's where it is, right. There we go. That's what we've got here. There we go. I think that's the picture. Yep. Okay. No, we don't want that. But we will want this. So yeah. So let's talk about it. Spence versus Garcia, or Garcia versus Spence. We may as well talk about it, people, because you see, this fight right here, for Spence, it's a no-win situation. An absolute no-win situation for Spence. Let me talk about this fight for a second. Errol Spence, the truth. And a lot of Spence fans, I'm not going to like what I'm going to say here, but it is the truth. Apart from Kell Brook, who else on Spence's resume makes you believe that he's a killer, that he's a real bad man? Really, apart from Kell Brook, who already had got the crap beaten out of him by Gennady Golovkin. So the damage had been done there. And it's not like Spence went out and took Brook out in a couple of rounds to say, yeah, he's a bad man. Took 11 rounds to do the job. Spence uses physical strength to bully people against the ropes and land body shots. I'm not saying Spence can't box. I'm not saying Spence is not the truth. But I want to know, apart from sparring rumors and what he did against Broner and what he did against Mayweather, yes, it's evident he's got some skills. But I actually want to know, what is it that makes Errol Spence a bad man? He lands body shots. Well, Ricky had to land body shots. But then when he fought Floyd Mayweather, tried to land body shots, he got check left hooked and knocked out. He fought Manny Pacquiao, he got absolutely pulverized. All right? So there are levels to this game. We can sit back and we can criticize Keith Thurman. He can't take body shots and he looks one-dimensional, and well, run time Thurman and once upon a time Thurman. I've cracked them jokes myself. But he's fought Garcia. He's fought Porter. All right. Two former world champions. Two of the best around. Yeah, but nobody wants to fight Spence and ducking Spence. Okay. So you're letting a man from what, 135 pounds come up? All due respect, this midget move up 2 weight divisions. You're that much of a bad man that a man's going to move up 2 weight divisions to fight you. You're that much of a bad man that a man's going to move up 2 weight divisions and talk gas in your face, right? And have that energy. And now Spence is thinking, yeah, let him keep with that energy. Let me see if he's got that same energy when I hit him with a body shot. But Spence is talking a lot about energy. But you know, look at Garcia's fought a lot of world champions, unbeaten. Now, I ain't sitting there here and telling you that Garcia's Sugar Ray Leonard. He's not. Garcia is open to right hands. And no matter how much muscle he puts on, he will be slower. That's the first thing. And he's going to have to carry that muscle around for 12 rounds. Okay? So, at some point, that body shot would land. I still want to know, for me, what makes Errol Spence a bad man? I keep asking that question. What makes Errol Spence a bad man? Yeah, he beat Kell Brook. Yeah, he knocked out Bundu, who'd come out of retirement. Yeah, he walked through what's this guy? The guy that let out the cage. They were about to let out the cage and got dropped by Pacquiao. What's his name again? I can see him now. The dietitian. Chris Algieri. There we go. But Chris Algieri was never a welterweight. Chris Algieri looked good against Khan, but Khan, we know Khan's vulnerabilities. I know a lot of people, listen, if Garcia goes up there, and let's say Garcia moves up, let's see Garcia has this fight, yeah? He gets knocked out, but in the process, he wobbles Spence. Let's say Garcia moves up, he fights him, and he completely outboxes Spence for 6 rounds. Spence has to destroy Garcia in the first 4 or 5 rounds. Because it's a lose-lose situation. If he beats Garcia, yeah, when he fought a guy that's come up from 2 weight divisions. That's what the critics will say. I'm preparing it for you. I'm preparing the land for your landscape already. If he beats Garcia, yeah, well, the guy wasn't a proven welterweight anyway. So there's that there. And if he loses to Garcia, then you're going to say, ha, 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 Spence was a hype job anyway. He'd only beaten Kell Brook, who got beaten by GGG. So I'm trying to remove the excuses beforehand. All right? I'm trying to remove the excuses beforehand. I'm trying to remove the excuses beforehand. Let me also remind you, historically, let me bring a couple of fights up for you. Lightweight, Sugar Shea Mosley. Welterweight, Oscar De La Hoya. Go back and look at the tape. Mosley skipped 2 weight divisions and went and kicked De La Hoya's ass. De La Hoya with a big left hook. If you're all De La Hoya fans, I was a big De La Hoya fan. I said, as soon as De La Hoya hits him with that left hook, remember, Garcia's going to be coming up with speed. He'll be coming up from speed from whatever division he's been in, and he'll be moving up. So Garcia's going to be seeing the punches of Spence a lot faster, the punches of Spence will be a lot slower because he's been a lightweight. So he would be able to move a lot. He'll see Spence's punches coming a lot quicker than the average welterweight. Remember, because he's coming from light division. So you've got that speed component there as well. And Garcia can box. It's not like Garcia's a bum. He's a very good fighter. He's in the pound for pound rankings as well. He's a very good fighter. Technically, he's good. He's very good. So I don't. Spence is a light middle. Well, he might be more than that. I think he's more middleweight. So let's see what people are saying here. It says, don't Ingram. LOL Spence all day. Get ruined. Spence gonna get a Mexican whooping, says Marky BA. People don't want to fight Spence, Ingram. Really? Really? You really buy that crap that nobody wants to fight Spence? I don't buy that crap. If Garcia will move up 2 weight divisions, wait, let me put it this way. Mike Tyson, when he was knocking people out left, right, and center, how many men wanted to move up from light heavyweight to fight Mike Tyson at heavyweight and really thought they were going to beat Mike Tyson, not for the paycheck? There was only one man that believed he could beat Mike Tyson. That was Evander Holyfield. Well, he's going to go down as an all-time great, Evander Holyfield, right? And he went and fought not only Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. He's a legend, all right? Olympic bronze medalist. Was he bronze medalist or Olympic silver medalist? Yeah, he's silver medalist, Evander Holyfield, right? So I don't think he got the gold because didn't he bite somebody? Yeah, what's his name's trainer? What's his name's trainer from New Zealand? Oh, I can't remember his name again. Kevin Barry. Yeah, I think so. 1984 Olympics. See, bronze. I can't, anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, Holyfield got on to be a great. Not how many people realistically in the lightweight division fancy their chance against Errol Spence? So if you're that much of a bad man, no one should be coming up 2 weight divisions to fight you. If you're that much of a bad man, really, I'm just putting it out there. Garcia will look at it and says, look, okay, who's this guy actually beaten? Kell Brook. All right, and he took 11 rounds to beat Kell Brook. Well, arguably, I think I've got better boxing skill than Kell Brook. I fought better quality opponents than Kell Brook. I've been a long way reigning world champion. Kell Brook was damaged good when he fought Golovkin. And he's been wobbled before Spence. And I picked pretty hard. And I've got good speed. And I'm a pretty handy fighter myself. And I'm unbeaten. Why not? Shit, if I get beat, I got beat by one of the best. The best welterweight in the world. The truth. But damn. If I kick his ass. Let me ask you a question. If Garcia does the impossible and he beats Spence, does that make Mikey Garcia the best welterweight in the world? Just for 1 second. Does that make Mikey Garcia the best welterweight in the world? I think it'll be a body shot that will stop Mikey. Yeah, well, quite possibly. Quite possibly. I'm not disputing that for 1 second. But he's going to have to get Mikey in position to land the body shot. And I think when you're at that higher level of boxing, Mikey Garcia is not just your average Joe Bloggs that's going to just let Spence walk in the ropes and just land the body shot on him. And if he does, then he's not a very good fighter. I think Mikey Garcia is going to have something about him, you know, and Mikey Garcia will punch Spence back. If Mikey Garcia can hurt Spence, ooh-wee, you got a totally different fight in your hands there. Let's see what here. Brook was beating Spence before the injury was up. Okay, he was up. Okay, I don't think Spence is a bogeyman, but only few would fight him. People can support who they want. Marky just like AJ fanboys. Spence should move up then. Why not? If he's avoided, why not move up to 154 or even middleweight? AJ's a fool too. He was Kenny until round 5. Marky. Spence has GGG power. That's the problem for Mikey. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. And even GGG power is overrated. Who top class has GGG knocked out? Spence got to learn to stop pulling out with chin up in air if he does move up. Yeah, well, Spence has got some poor habits himself. He's open to the left hook. He's open to the right hand. He moves back in straight lines. He doesn't move his head. That is Errol Spence. And he is pretty flat-footed. All right? All these people saying, well, Spence can box differently and he can do this and he can do that. Show me the fights. Show me the fights. Listen, Derek James is my boy, trainer of Errol Spence. But I'm sorry, I can't make things up as I make things up and fantasize of how I would like my fighter to be. This ain't bloody Fight Night Champion where you can add attributes on, or UFC 3 or 2 where you can add attributes on and give them KO power and they can do this and that. It is what it is. Spence does fight with his chin up, pulls out with his chin in the air. He is flat-footed. He doesn't move his head. He's vulnerable to left hooks and right hands. And so far, there's nobody in ring so far that's been good enough to capitalize on it. Skill-wise, potentially, Mikey Garcia is probably the best skill fighter that Spence has fought in his career. All right, GGG power. Okay, name me one guy that GGG has knocked out sparkle cold that was world class. Name them. Name me one bona fide world class fighter that GGG has knocked out. You talk about power. I'll give you a world class fighter that Julian Jackson knocked out. Terry Norris. End of conversation. Tell me who GGG knocked out was world class. I'm not talking about fringe contender and he's been knocked out 4 or 5 times by somebody else. Danny Jacobs got knocked out by Pirog. GGG never came close to knocking him out. Miguel Cotto's brother had Canelo in more trouble than GGG did in 2 fights. Talk to me about this GGG power. Matthew Mac. Oh my lord, Matthew Macklin. Canelo hammer Spence at 154 and 160. How do you work that one out, son? How do you work out he hammers him? This ain't Kirkland we're talking about. This ain't what's the guy's name? Rocky Fielding. Spence is a decent, good fighter. He's better than Rocky Fielding, and he's a far lot better than Kirkland. That's for sure. Okay, then. If Spence moves up to middle, who wins out of Eubank Jr. and Spence at middle? Don't know at this point and don't care. Gervonta Davis has more punch power than Wilder and Dominic Brazil on the boxing machine challenge than when he punched it live on the ESPN. Yeah, I did. I had this conversation with Teddy Singleton. He's like the representative of Don King at the hotel room. Sat for hours talking boxing. And one of the things he said that it was the angle and the fact that Wilder at the time was carrying an injury. That's why he didn't use his right hand. I believe he used his left hand when he threw the punches, not his right hand. So I saw that Tank's got more power in his left hand. Yeah, well, who killed Kenny? Kenny? No way does Spence hit as hard as Golovkin or Canelo. No way. What? Well, Golovkin, who has Golovkin knocked out at world level? Knocked out. Out. I'm not talking about referee stop fight. Knocked out. You still ain't answered my damn question. Eubank has no skill. What a stupid question. Yeah, I know. It was a casuals question, that was. Oh, and by the way, just want to comment on the DeGale situation. Did I not say about the whole Badou Jack situation, about Badou Jack taking his soul? And then DeGale was upset with me saying that his soul was taken by Badou Jack. Well, I don't know. I don't know, boxing fans. But hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, type in BWTM online. Check us out. Check us out on our station page. Ishida? Who the hell's Ishida? Oh, Lord. So, fights. And now I'm hearing a story that Povetkin is not going to fight Alexander Usyk, but he's looking for other options. I don't know what those options would be. Maybe Fury versus Povetkin. Fury versus Parker. Fury versus Klitschko. Those are the sort of fights I see Fury in. The girl should fight Bermain in a ghost match. The winner can have the soul back. Ingram, you had the girl's feelings. Sparked Kirkland. You must be a casual, mate. Because when was Kirkland? Oh, for me, Kirkland was not world class. I'm sorry. Kirkland's not world class. Yatala, Kirkland's not world class. I'm sorry. You might have a big punch. She just sparked him. Well, there you go. So, oh, Lord. All right, fine. Kirku? Exactly. And another thing, Billy Joe Saunders, I'm going to end on this note. Billy Joe Saunders should be ashamed of himself. That man should not be talking about Chris Eubank Jr. And he shouldn't be fighting that guy for this WBO super middleweight title. What Billy Joe Saunders should be focusing on is getting a fight against Andrade, getting a fight against Golovkin. They're the two fighters he should be looking to get. Super fight with Golovkin or fight against Andrade. Win his WBO title back or fight Golovkin. They're the two fights. He has no business dealing with Chris Eubank Jr. He's beating Chris Eubank Jr. Move on from that nonsense. See what? You know when people you know when people are free thinking, and you know when people are following a script. You know, interesting. I used to think he was funny, but he's just I used to think he was funny, but he's just a funny character. Interesting. There's something else I want to talk about as well before I finish this show. And it slipped my mind. Anthony Yard. I'm going to close on this subject. And it goes something like this. If you didn't go and fight Sullivan Barrera, you have got absolutely no business being in the ring with Kovalev. None. No whatsoever. None. You see how Kovalev just won that rematch? You got no business being in the ring with Kovalev. I'm sorry. The name should not even be coming out of your mouth. I'm sorry. You need to fight somebody. If you want to fight Kovalev, fight Callum Johnson first. That's a fight you should fight. Because I rate Callum Johnson very highly. In fact, I think with the right trainer, Callum Johnson could become a light heavyweight champion of the world. Liars in the camp. What? Yard sparring IFL TV. The other day, he took a beating. Oh, dear. Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I had different things. I heard that after the Reeves fight, the rumor is after the Reeves fight, he's going to fight Kovalev. That's what I heard. I hope to hell no he's fighting that fight. And Buatsi ain't done nothing yet either. So I don't know where all this hype. Deep, you know what? A lot of people, I want to know when you're watching boxing, what you're looking for. Are you looking at knockouts, highlight reels, or boxers' technique? Because there was a day where you could sit down and watch a fight and say, all right, see, today, a lot of the people watching boxing today watch boxing for the knockouts, which I understand, but they don't look at the caliber of the opposition. They go, oh, he's knocked out 20 guys. Yeah, he can punch, but you don't look at the caliber of the opposition. So the caliber of opposition for Yard, bearing in mind his amateur career was not much. His pro career is kind of compensating for the amateur career. But I will say a big but here. You have to look at Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte's amateur career, Dillian Whyte's pro career. Didn't have that many amateur fights, had a kickboxing background, turns pro, look where he is now. I don't get where the BWTMONLINE came from. Probably Eddie Hearn. Yes, it is. 15 minutes at IFL, he took a beating from his trainer, not Ade, the other one who's bench. Oh, Ade. He does look good. Not Tunde, the other one. Tunde is hilarious. As always. As always. But hey. They always do it in training. Yeah. I didn't see it. So I know. I watch him do a lot. I've watched him do training. And if Tunde doesn't want you to see something, he won't let you see it. And if Tunde wants you to see something, then that, I don't know. But I think if he can get past Callum Johnson, then I think he's ready. Ingram, Eddie wants another pay-per-view star. That's why they're hyping a Coley to fight Dillian. Desperate times, yeah. What do you think of Joyce Ortiz after the fight with Hamer? After his fight with Hamer? Ortiz is 48, 49 years old. What do you want me to say? He's a 48 or 49-year-old. He's fighting like a 48 or 49-year-old. And Hamer's a good fighter. Hamer's a good fighter. I don't know why people are so disappointed. He's a good fighter. He's got a good chin, and he's a good boxer. He's a good fighter, Hamer. People just think, oh, Ortiz is going to hit Hamer. He's going to fall over. Hamer's a good fighter. Got a lot of pride, good chin, good heart, good balls. Price dropped Hamer. Hamer got up and knocked Price out. That says it all. Right? So I didn't think Ortiz was going to stop Hamer. Not all. Though Hamer was going to hang around and fight. So he did. Okay, again, Luis Ortiz, another one. Who has Luis Ortiz knocked out of world quality? Yeah, he knocked out Brian Jennings. But a few other guys have knocked out Brian Jennings now. So, Luis Ortiz, who's Luis Ortiz knocked out? If Wilder's chinny and he doesn't take a very good shot, then Ortiz hit him with his best shot. And he couldn't knock Wilder out. Again, he's damn... Like, just do me a favor, right? Just do me a favor, right? Do me a really big favor and just think about it, yeah? Just think about it. And I'm fed up of seeing this guy. I'm absolutely fed up of seeing this guy. I really am. I just really am. I just want to... I want to see him fight somebody who's going to hit him back. I really do. I'm sick and tired of seeing his face. Yeah. There we have it. I said it before and I'll say it again. If Dillian Whyte doesn't want to fight for the WBA title, then Joe Joyce, my son, go forth and win the WBA title. Joe Joyce can beat Manuel Shah right now. He beat Manuel Shah right now. Thoughts on Jordan Gill headlining on Sky Sports and the weakness in normal Sky Sports fights. No world title for 2 years or regular on Sky TV, not including Katie Taylor. Not much. Not much. But you know what? Now, we have to take this into consideration. The commentary team of Sky and their biased commentary for the most part. So the commentary was poor anyway. Apart from when Paulie Malignaggi would come in and say what he had to say. Paulie Malignaggi, always see that guy, class act, and he always speaks the truth. But generally, we get the general biasness from Sky commentators. So the commentary's poor. That was bad enough. Now you're going to have poor quality fights with poor quality commentating. So it's just me, frankly, I don't care. Me, frankly, I don't care. I don't care much for Sky, and that's how it is. We want Whyte versus Wilder. You've got Brazil versus Wilder. So I would like to see Dillian Whyte versus Manuel Shah. That's what I'd like to see. Dillian Whyte versus the first fight out, July. I'd like to see Dillian Whyte on my birthday fighting Manuel Shah for the WBA Heavyweight Championship of the world. That's the fight I'd like to see. If not that, then there's a possibility of Dillian Whyte versus Bryant Jennings. At this point in time, Dillian Whyte is in a position to fight either Dominic Brazil or Deontay Wilder. One final thing. So there's rumors of Belly said he's itchy. He said he misses punching somebody in the face. Well, obviously him getting knocked out by Usyk wasn't enough. I don't know. Maybe Belly misses the spotlight. I don't know. I don't frankly care. But one guy I will talk about very quickly is Conor Benn. Wow, really nice guy. Sat he sat behind me at the Stavern fight. Such a nice guy, such a humble guy. I think him and his girlfriend were together. They're really humble guy, really nice, quiet guy. Yeah, said a few words to him. He's a really nice guy, really nice guy. I was going to mention somebody else, not Fury, not Whyte. Yeah, I want to talk about Jarrell Miller for a minute. And do you know, because of all the nonsense that's gone on with AJ, with the Wilder situation and all the other rubbish that's been going on, and I don't want to fight in America, and I don't need to go in America. He needs to come to me. Now he's fighting Jarrell Miller in America. Do you know, if Jarrell Miller beat Anthony Joshua, do you know how it makes me feel at this minute in time? It makes me feel like when Fury beat Klitschko. Is Jarrell Miller, for all we say about Jarrell Miller, is he the guy that's gonna? I mean, technically, Joshua is a far better boxer, and pedigree-wise, Joshua is far better. But just for a second, just for a moment, if Miller were to beat Joshua, what would that mean for the heavyweight division? Then there'd have to be some sort of rematch. Miller should be fighting Ortiz, I agree. Miller should be fighting Ortiz. Or Dominic Brazil. One of the two. Whyte should be fighting Wilder. Fury should fight Joshua. That would clean a lot of stuff up. So I would have Wilder defending against Whyte, Fury fighting against Joshua, and the winner of those four should fight in a final. There you go. That cleans that stuff up. Whyte, Wilder. Yeah, Whyte, Wilder, Miller, Brazil, and Joshua. 5. Is it? Whatever. You know what I mean anyway. So Joshua fought Fury. That's 2. Those 2. Brazil and Ortiz fight. And Wilder and Whyte fight. There you go. There you go. Fights there. Thoughts on AJ being given permission to use testosterone by UCAD? The reason why Sky bleeped it out when Miller mentioned that reason AJ got so big after turning pro. Oh, I think we spoke about it enough previously. How his body has inflated the way that it has, but what can you do? Not much you can talk about. Miller said he will duck Wilder if he's champion. Okay, fair enough. And use Dubai as part of his cycle to flush out the peds. Yeah, I heard. I did hear. Yeah, what did Dillian Whyte call him? He's the best cycler. He's the best cycler in the UK. You gotta love Dillian. You gotta love Dillian. You gotta love Dillian. Very dodgy, Kenny. Well, it is what it is. Well, remember I told you. Remember I told you. Remember I said it back in 2000 and the beginning of 2018. The British fans will turn against Joshua. And when they turn the screw and they turn on Joshua, it's gonna be horrific. If you thought the fall of David Beckham was bad, think again. This fall is going to be something, it's going to be like an apocalypse, I'm telling you. I've got a guy in here who's going to try, oh, you know what? Mate, we're in 2019. You don't come on my channel chatting at crap, you just get blocked automatically. Bye. See you later. There we go. The main event is no longer an event. Deep down, I think Eddie don't like him. That's why he won't get him a shot. Well, he told you this, but if you know how it is. You know how it goes. Dillian has told the truth, and deep down, Hearn hates it. Yeah, I know. That's what I always felt. But there you go. Got to fight your man's corner. If you believe something, you should fight for his corner. So I fought for Dillian Whyte's corner, and hopefully now that's got him in a position where he's able to make. Well, think about it. Just Kenny, think about it for 1 second. The British media have love to pull down successful people, particularly sports. They love to do it. Look at Beckham. Remember they were praising Beckham up. He was this. He was the God's gift to women. Blah, 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 blah. And then what happened at the World Cup? When he kicked Ronaldo's at European Championships. And then he came back and scored. Did he come back? He came back afterwards and he scored that goal that got into Greece through to England playing the World Cup. I think it's Euros. It was Euro 94 or something. Remember that? So for me, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be a real, and all the stories will come out for sure. I just feel that way. I really do. I really feel that way. Not even AJ wasn't that big in the first Whyte fight. Not even guys who were in the gym 24/7 block like AJ. Well, I've said it before, but you know. Apparently Fleet Street has got papers locked down on him. Yeah. No surprise there. So that's why you got to stay in line, isn't it? Stay in line to your masters. So that's it. Right. I'm going to end right here. Thank you all so much as always. Hold on. I think it's unfair to stay in a person's just because you don't like him. What age? Oh dear, here we go. No interviews asked about TUE. I find that mad. Quite interesting. There you go. Right. Thank you all for watching as always. I appreciate it. It's not the opinion of many, but then we've got a choice in this world. We have a choice to either stand out or fit in. I choose to stand out, which means if you stand out, then your opinions won't be, you know, not everyone's going to like your opinion, but it's an opinion and it's just an opinion. It's not to offend anybody. It's just an opinion. Straight talking, you know. And hey, Dubois versus Gorman, I don't care. Really don't care about that fight. And just again, it's not breaking news if Dillian Whyte joins Top Rank. You heard it first here on BWTM. Bob Arum giving the opportunity. Again, it's not breaking news if Klitschko makes a comeback. You heard it here first on BWTM. So, I don't get around much. I don't do much work. But when we do work, it is consequential. So there you have it. Thank you all so much as always. Again, don't forget to rate, subscribe, share this video. By the way, I just want to let you know now that because Google are making a lot of changes, Google Plus is going on April the 1st, and they no longer automatically share videos across social media. So what needs to happen now is that you need to subscribe or hit the notification bell, because we can't share these videos like we used to, because it doesn't automatically share. So now it's down to you, the supporters, to really get behind and help us out. I am going to be doing, well, in time, it will be plans to have to do live commentary and a lot more other plans. But let's get this live event we've got on. We've got a live event coming up. So go to BWTM Online and check out our live event. It's a virtual wellness show that's coming up on March the 21st. So check that out as well. Yeah, we told you about Kroller versus Lomachenko as well. So we told you it was coming. So, right. It'll be interesting to see whether Tyson Fury has a rematch against Klitschko, or he fights Parker or Povetkin. $1 Million Kroller up in lights in America. It's a takeover, baby. Loma Kroller, a real 50-50 mouth-watering times ahead. Yeah, Kroller needs to retire. Terrible. What's going on with Kell Brook's career, by the way? I think he's one guy that needs to retire. Looking at that last fight with Kell Brook, it looked to me that he couldn't see punches coming out from his right side. He got getting clipped with right hand by an average fighter. So I'm a bit concerned about Kell Brook. Right, I'm definitely out of here. Thank you all so much. You have been watching. Is Vlad back for real or just gossip? Someone have a word with Ivan Lewis, please. We don't gossip on this channel. BWTM, we're out. Thanks for watching.